Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Shelby Hoffman. The next slide, I'll introduce myself a little bit more, but thank you so much for joining the virtual information session tonight for our University of Miami's UOnline Masters of Arts in International Administration. So if you are looking to advance your career in global affairs, build your leadership skills and work on broadening your professional and educational self, you are in the right place. So thank you again for being here tonight. So go ahead, Oren, next slide. Like I said, my name is Shelby Hoffman, and I am the Executive Director of Enrollment Management and Student Success here at UOnline. And I will go into more detail about the program. So Oren, next slide, please. Okay, so tonight, a few housekeeping items. We are going to, talk a lot about the MAIA program, our curriculum. We are going to talk about admissions requirements, some career opportunities, and, how our online platform will ensure that you get the education that you deserve, no matter where you are in the US. So, we're going to kind of go through that a little bit. And one awesome thing about this session tonight is that we are going to record this and then we'll send this out after. So, if you want to, talk about this with your boss in your next one-on-one, or if you would like to share it with a coworker, this will be recorded and sent to you directly. So another amazing thing, our host will be answering any questions you may have. And there is a Q&A feature. So I will get to the Q&A feature once we get to our panel session. So please go ahead and ask any questions you may have. We're here to help you in any way. So I also do have a whole staff of enrollment advisors behind me. And so please reach out to them. They are trying to reach out to you to talk and, give you specific details about this program. So you can call them or live chat them at any time. Okay, so program at a glance. Again, we're going to go into a little bit of detail as we talk, through some of the program outcomes. But at a glance, this is a 30 credit curriculum, and each term is 15-week courses, and this is designed for the working professionals. So you can complete this in as little as 20 months and kind of work at your pace as, as a professional adult and a professional student. One thing that is really important for us to remind you, we are SACS accredited university. And another really amazing thing about this program is we do not offer the require the GMAT or GRE, so that you can, take time and, really focus on your experience and your potential, and, not just test scores. So, we are grounded in practice. Dr. Bradford McQuinn is on with us tonight. We're going to go into detail a little bit about faculty and leadership and influence that this program has on the global space. But more importantly, what the faculty members and what I would call practitioners are doing in the field. So next slide, please. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Dr. Bradford McQuinn here with us tonight. Dr. McQuinn is actually alumni himself. He finished his PhD here at University of Miami. He is a senior lecturer for the Department of Political Science, and he is a director, for the MAIA program. So would you like to introduce yourself as well, or add anything to that?
Well, thank you, Shelby. Thank you very much. It's a privilege for me to be with you all this evening and to speak to the MAIA program, which has embarked upon a new dimension of its now long existence in the online space.
Wonderful.
For
Good.
my part, as you mentioned, Shelby, I teach quite a few courses at the University of Miami at the undergraduate and the graduate level as well, mostly in the area of international security, Middle Eastern studies, civil military relations, and the like. And that's the principal area of my research interest as well. I have spent quite a few years lecturing also to military groups here and in Europe. Might want to emphasize that point for another reason, and that is a point of pride for the MAIA program that we've had such a robust attendance of veterans. Veterans, also active duty and reservists within the United States military, within the first responder community more
Mhm.
generally.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that. So what we're going to start, yes, we're going to open this up to be a little bit more of like a panel where I'm going to be asking some direct questions. So you already hit a little bit on my first question, which is amazing. So can you tell me a little bit about your role at the University of Miami and how do you support students in an online Masters of Arts and International Administration programs? How do you support students?
Right, that's a great question. As I mentioned, this is a new venture for the MAIA program and a very exciting one as well. And we have been given tremendous support, right, in terms of resources in order to make an online experience, right, as robust and meaningful as it would be in the classroom. So in terms of supporting students, that will do in a number of different ways through the kind of formal mechanisms of a class, through the sort of live Zoom sessions that we will have, and through sort of individualized mentoring, whether it's to do with the academic work a student may be doing, or, and I think, Shelby, this is going to go to a point that you want to discuss later,
Yeah.
the afterlife. That is to
Yeah.
say, right after the MAIA program into the career. And we are, from the very first day of engagement, we are focused upon that eventuality. So in
Yeah.
terms of your question, to be more specific still, a good part of our engagement concerns career.
Okay. And what are some of the opportunities for the mentorship and, deeper academic support from faculty that the students in this program will receive?
Right. Well, our faculty has for many years taught the courses, but
Mhm.
has also been involved as mentors and guides and facilitators, if I can put it that way. That is to say, if based upon their professional experience, if they know, say, of an organization or an individual that might make it for a good point of contact for one of our students, we enjoy nothing more than establishing those connections. And I'm speaking now of our existing MAIA program, which, as I mentioned, we've been going for a long time now. And what
Mhm.
that means is that we have alumni
Mhm.
who are now fairly advanced in their careers.
Mhm.
And one of the most heartwarming parts of my job is when one of our MAIA students in their career will reach back, right, and provide then the guidance for a current MAIA student within
Yeah.
our broader community.
Okay. I definitely have a little bit more of alumni questions, but we'll get there. Let's dive in
Mhm.
a little bit to the curriculum. And how is the Maya curriculum designed to prepare students for real world challenges in international administration?
Well, the academics and the practice are wedded, right? They are really two sides of the same coin. So
Hmm.
we have emphasis on theory, emphasis on the academic literature within this subject matter, whether it's world affairs or global cultures or intelligence and national security or social entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. There's a
Hmm.
body of literature, and that's important that we engage those vocabularies and concepts, but always with a view to what that means in terms of translating that knowledge, transferring that knowledge into practical application.
Okay. So I'm going to put you on the spot right away. I'm looking at course curriculum and, the classes that are going to be offered the first term for these students. And IGS 614 is on there, and that is World Affairs and
Right.
Diplomacy. You
Yeah,
teach that, correct?
I do indeed.
Okay, so if some of the students on here tonight are looking to what they could get into in fall of 2025. So could you speak a little bit about your course, what you're developing, and some of those the value and the curriculum outcomes?
Sure. And there again, it's a joining of a academic study of the field of international relations, international security, where we deal with real world situations such as the multiple crises that are taking place in different parts of the world,
Mhm.
political, economic, cultural forms of conflict and cooperation, but with also a practical focus, say, for example, in the area of diplomacy. It's a great source of pride for the MAIA program that we've had students graduate from our ranks and into the diplomatic corps within the State Department.
Okay.
Those skills, by the way, those diplomatic skills, as everyone can intuit, are transferable into almost any area of endeavor, right? The ability to engage analytical problems, develop lines of effort toward their resolution, and people skills. So
Okay.
I try in that course to introduce students to the broad lines of intellectual engagement in the field of world politics,
Okay.
theory, and the practice.
Okay, wonderful. And now I know you don't teach this course, but a course that will be coming up is International Administration and Social Entrepreneurship.
Right,
Can you speak to any of the
sure.
curriculum outcomes or for that
Right.
course as well?
Indeed. Leadership will play a large role in that class, right? That is to say, what of the art and the science of leadership, right? Organizing for practical purposes to make a difference in the world. Like how, if you're interested in creating positive social change,
Mhm.
how not just in theoretical terms, but how in practical terms, right? You
Okay.
go about developing, right, proposals and lines of effort, engaging too, right? The expanding and very dynamic world of artificial intelligence will be as kind of a through line for all of our courses at the same time.
Wonderful. You said leadership, so I'm going to bounce into a question here what are some of the key skills or competencies students
Mhm.
develop through this program?
Yeah. Yeah, I think communication obviously is an important part of leadership, of empathy, of the ability to work right across and up and down, right?
Mhm.
The ability to recognize the nature of problems, whether they're political problems or problems of a business nature, to
Mhm.
recognize their characteristics or causes and and I like to think with the MAIA program that what we're able to do is create for our students an ability to be that person in the meeting, whether that's around a table or on a Zoom call, that person who can kind of get to the basics of an issue, basics of a problem, and not just admiring the problem, but to suggest specific lines of effort toward resolution. Because
Yep.
my view is that that is a person who's going to be very valuable in an organization, whether
Hmm.
it's a business or local government or state or with a global international organization.
Yeah. I had that conversation today with somebody. I was like, I love that you're bringing me problems, but also I love that you're coming with a solution. That's more
Exactly.
important.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to help me, thought lockstep think with them through the solution. So
Right.
wonderful. So are there any unique projects or applied learning experience that help connect
Yeah.
theory to practice in this program?
Well, one of the elements that I have in a number of my classes is a tabletop exercise.
A tabletop.
A
Okay.
tabletop exercise, and that is, as some of you may know already, is a standard procedure in many organizations, in the national security space, right, in the military, in disaster management and disaster relief, and that's a process by which, at least in terms of my class, is that we'll have a facilitator,
Mhm.
right? Someone who can kind of walk everyone through the issue or the problem, and the students will play roles. And that's always an interesting process by which an individual who's been a student in the class and now is assuming a particular role in a scenario.
Mhm.
And the scenario will have different facets to it, right? Different twists and turns. And invariably, at the end of the exercise, what the participants will say is, wow, that was a lot of fun. And it really kind of caused me to kind of come out of myself, right? And to think about how, as you're saying a moment ago, in a very real world way, right? How to develop lines of effort toward the resolution or the management of a problem. So
Yeah.
the tabletop exercise would be one example.
Okay. Wonderful. I'm going to move a little bit out of curriculum and maybe
Yep.
some career impact
Mm,
industry in what we're seeing
sure.
today. So, how does earning a master's in arts in international administration help students stand out in today's global job market?
All right, that's a great question. I might suggest one way to address that issue would be to look at our existing website for the MAIA program, and you'll see a number of students profiled, and you'll get a kind of very tangible sense of the work that they have done. But more specifically, what I would say is that you would have the joining of the knowledge of these different fields, these domains within international administration. And the international part's important, but don't be deceived. It applies also to the very local,
Governments.
state, right, municipal, county government.
Hmm.
And more specifically still, let's say in the area of disaster management, right? To your question, we've had a number of students who have taken our disaster management courses and the related ones
Yeah.
and have gone on to jobs, I mean, actually careers in the field of emergency management.
Yeah. Which is having a huge impact right now.
It is, and in ways that are, frustrating and sad. We have many disasters in this world, don't we? Right?
Yeah.
And of many different types. And so one of the things we try to do in the MAIA program is make students aware that catastrophes or disasters are multiple,
Hmm.
and yet there are academic
Hmm.
insights, insights of practice, um, internship
Hmm.
possibilities, right here,
Hmm.
but across the country and
Yeah.
across and around the world as well, to allow students to get some practical experience in an area that needs attention.
Yeah. And at that point, so many people need educated facilitators who can think
Absolutely.
clearly, make good decisions, and you help them out of a situation they're in.
That
So,
exactly right. And
yep,
that's to come back to a point that you emphasized a moment ago, the leadership,
yep.
right? And how to work in an organizational setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
How to conceptualize priorities,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And a good deal of that will be based upon our academic study, but another facet will come to us from guest speakers that we have coming in
Yeah.
who are right experts in these fields and can provide to our students a sense of the nuances.
Yeah. And you talked a little bit about, smaller governments, maybe even nonprofits or private sectors
Indeed,
needing
absolutely.
our graduates.
Right.
How is this degree viewed by those employers, to get a job in that field?
Well, I like to think in a very positive way, and in
Mhm.
the sense that we've had very good feedback from the organizations that have had our students as either interns, right?
Yeah.
Or, later in terms of a career. And I think that point is a really important one. I was having this conversation with a student yesterday, as a matter of fact, and she would like to work for an international organization,
Okay.
but how to start? And one of the elements of advice that we've been given from some of our guest speakers is start local, right? That is, say, apply and see if you can get an internship working at a county or municipal level in an area of interest, right? In local government, maybe, to use again the example of emergency management, maybe you can be an intern in a
Mhm.
local emergency management office and you gain experience and connections. And that then becomes a basis by which then you can move right, up or across in
Yeah.
this field. So I think that's a really important
Okay.
piece of advice.
Wonderful. And you kind of just talked a little bit about that individual student, but can you share any success stories or examples of recent graduates and where they have gone?
Sure, we've had a student who has, along with a partner, has created a organization that provides health care services for veterans and first responders. We've had students who are working in, as I mentioned, local emergency management fields. We've had students who have worked for international health organizations. Right.
Mhm.
We've had students who, as I mentioned, have worked with the US government, whether that's in
Yeah.
Senate offices or
Yep.
in in various departments in Washington. I would mention too,
Mhm.
students have worked for NGOs,
Okay.
right? And that's a big part of what MAIA is all about, right?
Yeah.
The NGO sector. Others have worked in related humanitarian fields,
Hmm.
and still others with private businesses. So
Yeah.
I'd want to make sure that to emphasize that we've had a number of students who have been on the private sector side,
Hmm.
right, as well as on
Yeah.
the public sector side.
Yeah. Would and there's a lot of public sector if you like research this degree in government and nonprofit
Mm.
profit work. What can an individual do in the private sector with this
In
degree?
private sector,
Yeah.
in the private sector.
Yes.
Well, there too, leadership skills, the
Yes.
ability, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
to organize, to develop programs, to supervise programs, to manage people.
Mhm.
Not, to overdo the point, but I think it is so central that the ability to manage problems,
Yep. And
right?
help guide to an outcome for sure. So,
Indeed. Let me mention too, in along those lines, the healthcare sector is
yeah.
another domain where we've had a number of students on the strengths also of their, managerial skills, their leadership skills,
Yeah.
for whom that's been their area of focus.
Okay, wonderful. So, moving away from career impact, is there anything else that you would want to say about that? Because I was going to go into like flexibility and online experience, but still hit on faculty outcomes. So,
Yeah, I guess what I would emphasize with regard to to my experience with the MAIA program is that the thinking about what comes after MAIA
mhm,
begins on the first day. Right. That is to say, we put a good deal of emphasis on helping to facilitate students in the process by which they are looking to either kind of enhance skills they have already,
mhm,
right? Or it may be a career change, right?
mhm,
Someone who's had a wonderful and successful career in one area, but perhaps has been thinking, I really have always wanted to engage humanitarian work, right?
yeah.
Say what's happening right around the world matters to me. And I want to try to position myself so I can be part of that, to make a difference in the world, right?
Okay. You kind of just teed me right up into my next two questions. So thank you for that. And, how do faculty ensure that the online students feel connected and supported through this journey to, reach these leadership outcomes?
Right. That is critical. I mean, I think that's a really critical point. And
Mm-hmm.
what I would emphasize here is that our faculty are available,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, first, full stop, available. And what that means is we have regular sessions with the class as a whole, right,
Yep.
on Zoom, to the degree to which that works with our students, because I realize they may be in every time zone imaginable
Yep. And a working professional.
and working, right? So lots of things going on in their lives, but they are also welcome. And I really want to emphasize that point. Welcome
Mhm.
to communicate with us, and we'll set up a time to meet via Zoom, certainly by email.
Yeah.
right? And we can continue conversations. That's another point, if you don't mind me saying this, that I'd like to emphasize that this is a conversation. It's not kind of a one-off. Okay, well, we'll have your career conversation.
Yeah,
Done. No, because that is going to evolve. And I've seen that with MAIA, that, well, I kind of think I might be interested in this. And then, oh, we had a guest speaker about that, and that's what I want to do.
exactly. And, with the empathy in this program, if someone gets in the field and has that tangible experience of helping another individual,
Right.
their mindset could completely change of what they wanted when they first came in, just because of
Exactly
that
right.
tangible experience. So how, from an alumni and connections networking, how does the program help students tap into University of Miami's global alumni and professional networking?
Well, and that's a very important point of emphasis in my view. And in fact, I mention this quite often to my students in the classroom. Vital, in my view, is engaging the university. Because you said it right, you're many working professionals, everybody's very busy, right? And there's sort of a temptation, just okay, I'll do my classwork and that's it. But I would encourage and do everything the MAIA program can do to
Hmm.
connect the student to what is happening within the campus community, right? To the extent to which they're able to engage that in real time or not in real time, but also to our alumni network. The MAIA community, for example, they will, the online students will meet many of our alumni because not a few of them are guest speakers
Hmm.
for our classes. As I mentioned, they've gone on and they're kind of in early or mid-career. And I always feel as though that's the speaker who might be really meaningful for a current student
Hmm.
because they're not that far out of the MAIA program, right?
Yeah,
And they, right, can provide a kind of advice or guidance in ways that are very meaningful.
wonderful. Walk in lockstep alongside someone. That's always the
I think that's
what you
right.
want.
I think that's exactly
Um,
right.
Perfect. So I have two more questions for us
Mhm.
tonight, and then we'll
Sure.
open it up. And I want you to hear a word. Can you describe a typical, not an ideal, a typical online student for this program? What are you looking for them to
Uh,
be successful in this program?
I'm interested in the curious.
Yeah. Okay.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Curious about the world, curious about themselves, and just curious.
I think that's right. I think that's the great kind of driving impulse here.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
MAIA program is an interdisciplinary one where we have vocabularies of politics and culture and economics and leadership,
Mm-hmm.
uh, disaster response, right? A number of different fields, but all kind of connected with that idea that we take as something of a mantra for the program, do something that matters.
Okay.
Right. And
Wonderful.
that I think is stimulated first and last by a sense of energetic curiosity.
Wonderful. Okay. I like that. Um, Last question, and then we'll open it up, is what do you consider to be the greatest strengths of the faculty who teach in this online program?
Oh, well, just the very nature of them. We have an extraordinary faculty with worlds of experience in the academic world, in their fields, all very respected professors who are part of the academy. What I mean by that is they're active in their disciplines with publications and going to conferences and their teaching. So the online student is going to be guided by faculty members who have a great deal of experience in their fields. I would say too that you have faculty with a great deal of experience in professional areas as well, right? Some of whom I mentioned in my own case, having had the opportunity, well, the privilege really of working with military groups for many years, that I like to think provides me with a little bit of an understanding, right, on the practical side of the subjects that I cover.
Okay. Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much. I did hear from the host that we do not have any questions right now. So, one more chance, if anyone has any questions, please, we can move on and then come back to your question. Um, but this has definitely been insightful for me. And I know it will be insightful for the individuals on this call tonight. And I'm excited to share this link out to any individuals who just may want to learn more about the program outcomes, leadership opportunities, how to stay curious as a graduate student. So, Dr. McQuinn, this has just been absolutely fabulous tonight, and I really appreciate your time.
Well, it's been a privilege for me indeed. Thank you.
Good, 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 good. All right, Oren, thank you so much. So I am going to wrap us up with just a little bit of some of the things that we talked about. As an online student here at University of Miami, you'll have access to a wide variety of resources that are designed to support your success, both academic and professionally. So first is the Topple Career Center. I know we talked a little bit about, career paths and program outcomes, but the Topple Career Center will help you plan your career path. They'll help you sharpen your resume, and really just help you connect with potential employers and alumni in this industry as well. Another amazing thing that we offer is a comprehensive disability service, to ensure that all students have equal access to support throughout their academic journey. So, once you deposit and become one of our students, if you have any disability services needed, we help you overcome that so that you're successful through this journey with us. Launchpad is an amazing tool that provides a mentorship and resources to help any ideas that you may have into tangible experiences. And then, our Graduate Student Association is a vibrant community that keeps our peers and alumni really engaged. Actually, I was in Vail, Colorado the other weekend. It was amazing. I love going to the mountains when I can, and I was walking around with my University of Miami hat on, and I got so many hellos, and I met other alumni as well. So I just felt privileged to tell people that I work for Miami now, and I was surprised of how I was all the way in Vail, Colorado, and people were coming up to me and sharing their experience and their alumni experience as well. We have an online library that is, gives you the availability to have full access to our campus library and academic journals and research databases and librarian support. And this comes 24/7. So that is an amazing opportunity. So, and then it's just so important that, as an online student, we make you feel like you're a part of a cane. And you are a part of our university. So, go Canes, and, we welcome you to the campus at any time, and welcome you to just be a part of that community no matter where you are. So what do you need to apply? So, my team, again, I will not be the person reaching out to you, but if you have any questions after tonight, I'm here to help in any way. I do have a wonderful team of enrollment advisors who are really eager to offer some professional guidance to help you order your transcripts. We will need all your transcripts from any institution you did attend, and we need official transcripts as well. We will need your resume. So, an updated resume and then a personal statement. So, your personal statement is definitely why you want to be in this program. What are your professional and educational goals? What are your outcomes and why do you want this degree? And it is normally like a 2 to 3 page statement that, really covers why you want to be here and why you want to be a cane. Then we'll need 3 letters of recommendation. Talk to your enrollment coach. We can help you identify who those people will be, both professional and academic. And then federal student aid, obviously University of Miami is, we have a financial aid department that will help you work on that FAFSA application. But as you are applying to our program, we highly recommend that you go ahead and start applying for your federal student aid as well. And then we submit the online application. We do have an application fee of $50 right now. But again, you need all of these small little items to get your application completed. So next slide, Oren. We do have an upcoming deadline. So we're actively enrolling now for our fall 2025 cohort. And our final admissions deadline is Monday, August 11th. So please go ahead and start your application and start working on those items. And then, just a huge thank you for joining us tonight. Our final admissions deadline is that August 11th date, but we're here to help tomorrow. We're here to help until that August 11th date. So reach out to us. The 1-800 number is there, and live chat opportunity is here as well. If you feel motivated and want to start your application right now, simply grab your phone and use that QR code and begin your application tonight. And we will reach out and also reach out to my team as we help you navigate those items and help you build a strong application to put forward. Okay. Again, thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and we look forward to hearing from you. Any other questions? All right, Dr. McQuinn, you have a wonderful night. Thank you so
You
much.
as well. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.